GMC is heading into a bold new chapter, one that might not be exactly what people were expecting. For years, the brand has made its name by building powerful trucks and capable SUVs, often marketed as a more upscale alternative to Chevrolet. But now, with the automotive landscape shifting rapidly, fueled by changing consumer demands, politics, and the reality of electrification, GMC is evolving in a way that blends tradition with modernity. And if you're a fan of big American trucks, you're probably going to like what's coming next. At the center of GMC's future plans are two of its biggest sellers, the Sierra and the Yukon. These full-size vehicles aren't just important to GMC's bottom line, they are the brand's identity. They carry the weight of its rugged image, and they represent the vehicles Americans still love to buy, even as compact EVs and fuel-efficient hybrids dominate the headlines. Despite growing concerns about climate change and stricter emissions regulations in other parts of the world, the U.S. truck and SUV market remains as strong as ever. GMC understands this better than most, and rather than diving headfirst into an all-electric strategy, the brand is taking a more measured, hybrid-friendly approach. In 2027, the GMC Sierra will receive its next big update, and this time, a plug-in hybrid variant is part of the plan. This marks the first time the Sierra will offer such a powertrain, a major milestone for a truck that has long prioritized gasoline-powered strength over electrified efficiency. 2 years later, in 2029, the Yukon will follow suit. Like the Sierra, it will gain a plug-in hybrid version, allowing buyers to dip their toes into electric driving without giving up the reliability and range of internal combustion. This approach isn't just about catching up to trends, it's about timing. EV demand in the United States has cooled in recent months, partly due to the rollback of federal incentives. The Biden administration had expanded EV credits, making it easier for consumers to get into electric vehicles. But under the new Trump Act, One Big Beautiful Bill Act, many of those credits are being phased out, making plug-in hybrids a much more attractive compromise. You still get some electric range, often enough for daily commutes, while avoiding range anxiety on longer trips. Behind the scenes, GMC's engineers and designers are hard at work prepping for this transition. The 2027 Sierra update is expected to be more than just a powertrain swap. It will likely feature updated styling, new tech, and a more refined driving experience. Production for the Sierra will be ramping up at GM's Orion Township facility in Michigan, a signal that GM is betting big on this evolution. A year later, the heavy-duty Sierra will receive a similar treatment, and in 2028, the Sierra EV itself is expected to get a redesign, aligning its design more closely with the gasoline and hybrid versions. The Yukon will follow a similar path. Its plug-in hybrid debut in 2029 will come as part of a complete redesign, one that's expected to modernize the SUV without sacrificing the space, power, and road presence that Yukon buyers expect. And it won't stop there. The Yukon XL will also be updated, continuing its legacy as a go-to for large families and long-haul comfort. But it's not just about the big nameplates. The rest of GMC's lineup is also in the midst of a strategic shuffle. The Hummer EV, which first hit the scene in late 2021, is slated for a mid-cycle refresh around 2028. Both the pickup and SUV versions will be updated, though details remain scarce. The Arcadia, introduced in 2023, is likely to get a facelift by 2027 or 2028, and the Canyon midsize truck will follow with its own refresh in 2029. That would make it 6 years old by then, a typical timeline for a significant update in today's competitive landscape. Some vehicles, like the GMC Terrain, are still relatively fresh, and thus won't be seeing any big changes until at least 2028 or 2029. Meanwhile, the aging Savannah van, the kind of vehicle you forget exists until you see one, will somehow continue through at least 2026. It's an outlier, but still serves a purpose for fleet customers who value function over flash. All of this change reflects a broader reality. GMC is playing the long game. The brand isn't racing toward an all-electric future at the same pace as some of its competitors. Instead, it's moving strategically, offering hybrids where they make sense, and keeping gas options alive for buyers who aren't ready to let go. That's not a lack of vision. It's smart business, especially in a market like the United States, where charging infrastructure still has a long way to go, and many customers live in rural areas or tow heavy loads. GMC's sales numbers back this strategy up. In the first half of 2025, the brand sold over 315,000 vehicles, a new record. That's an 11% jump from the same period the year before. The Sierra alone accounted for more than half of those sales, with over 166,000 units moved and a 12% gain. The Yukon also saw impressive growth, up 22% with nearly 50,000 units sold. These numbers are more than just bragging rights. They're proof that American buyers still want full-size trucks and SUVs, especially ones that combine capability with a sense of refinement. The one dim spot in GMC's sales report is the Terrain. The compact SUV saw a 34% decline, dropping to just over 32,000 units. That's a significant dip, and it's clear the brand needs to rethink how it approaches this segment. It may be that buyers are gravitating toward either larger vehicles or EVs, leaving the Terrain in an awkward middle ground. Surprisingly, the Hummer EV, despite its controversial reputation and eye-watering price tag, saw a massive sales spike, up 74% with nearly 8,000 units sold in the first half of 2025. It's still one of GMC's lowest volume models, but its growth shows that niche electric vehicles can succeed when they're bold and distinctive. The recently introduced Sierra EV, however, has yet to find its footing. It logged just under 2,800 units during the same period, suggesting that full-size truck buyers might be more interested in hybrids than in going fully electric just yet. What makes GMC's strategy so interesting is how it balances boldness with caution. The brand is clearly planning for an electrified future, but it's not forcing the issue. Instead, it's meeting consumers where they are, offering plug-in options without demanding total change. It's acknowledging the very real logistical challenges that still exist with EV ownership in much of America, while still moving toward lower emissions and higher tech. As the automotive industry continues to transform, brands that listen to their customers will be the ones that come out on top. GMC seems to understand that better than most. Rather than chasing headlines or overpromising the future, it's quietly executing a plan that keeps its core products strong while preparing for what's next. There will come a time when GMC might have to go fully electric. That day may not be here yet, but it's getting closer. Until then, the brand is carving a new path, one paved with gas, electricity, and the kind of no-nonsense engineering that made GMC a staple of American roads in the first place. Whether you're a die-hard truck fan, a tech-savvy commuter, or someone who just likes a powerful ride with some electric assist, there's probably a future GMC with your name on it.